everybody, how's everybody doing? It's been a long time. It's probably been about 6 weeks since I've made an update video. I think it was probably just before my transplant, actually, that I did my last update. So I want to get you guys an update about where I'm at, where things are going. I apologize for it being so long. Had some issues, and we'll talk through some of that. But yeah, I'm excited. Things are going well, doing really, really good. So just want to give everybody an update, kind of where I'm at, and see what's going on. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Start off with, I had my transplant on November 1st. It was a stem cell type transplant, which means that it's an infusion. It was done intravenously rather than a surgery. Where they actually insert the bone marrow into my bone. So it's a little different procedure. It's about between a 5 and a 10% difference in it being a better option than the actual bone marrow being installed. But as most of you know, my donor was from Germany. They did not fly him over to do the bone marrow biopsy, because that's pretty much one taken from him into me. So they did not fly him over, but they did. They said they collected his stem cells. They got over 6 million stem cells from him, and they intravenously fed those into me. It took about probably a half an hour, 45 minutes probably, and I was done. So, but naturally before all of that, I had all my chemo treatments. Nasty chemo called busulfan. Really nasty, I'll put it that way. I was not impressed. But about a week after my transplant, I started getting really severe mouth sores. Couldn't eat. I actually ended up losing my voice. I couldn't talk because my throat was so swollen and tongue was so swollen and everything. It was just really a bad time for me. And I know I couldn't really do an update at that point in time, but I didn't want to do an update at that point in time. My color was really bad, and it was just really, I really looked bad, really looked sick. And I don't know if any of you seen my pictures or anything on my transplant day. I was pretty pale and pretty white, but again, that was part of it. It was part of the ordeal, because like I said, they killed all my bone marrow off, is what they were doing. So without that, I don't have any blood or platelet. I didn't have any color. But with the changes and with that going on, and as a couple of weeks went by, as the busulfan and the chemo started really reacting with me, his new stem cells took over and started growing in my bone marrow. So evidently it filled it right in, because again, when my counts started jumping, they jumped very quickly. They went from 0.1 to 1.5 to 2.5 to 2.6, and it has jumped way up very quickly. And in that happening, really helped my mouth sores. Helped them start getting better and better. Well, after a couple of weeks, the docs finally told me that he said, you had one of the worst cases of mouth sores that I've ever seen. So, but I kept myself eating. It was applesauce and the real soft, soupy type things, that drinks and fluids and the stuff like that I was trying to get into myself. They did finally have to hang some nutrition bags for about a week to give me some nutrition, because I just couldn't get enough. So I did go on some bags for a little while, some nutrition bags. Helped out just fine. They took care of me, and again, weight-wise and stuff, it really didn't affect me. Weight still held pretty steady. I will say that from the very beginning, from when I first originally went in on October 31st or 30th, or August 30th or 31st, that I've lost 15 pounds or so since that time. That's been 15 pounds of muscle. And like the docs tell me, he says, at least you had it to lose. You didn't lose other regular weight that you didn't need to lose. So I feel okay about that. It still bothers me because I worked a long time and really hard to get myself built up. I'll be patient, try to be patient, and work myself back to the point where I can where I'm going to be back to normal again, where I feel good about myself again. So haven't had any real issues other than I have, you can see my hands, see how red they are. So I've got my color back. Everything's coming back and getting very, very well. My counts right now some are well above what they need to be. Some are just a little bit, still just not quite to the normal range, but they're pretty close. I feel good. I don't have to wear a mask anymore. Still hard. I still haven't seen my grandkids, and I'm going to see them at Christmas, hopefully. Anyway, so there won't be any issues there. But it's still hard to be around the little ones because, again, I don't have any antibodies in my system for anything. No flus, no allergies or anything like that, or anything kind of like that. So it's been an adjustment, and it's been really hard not to see my grandkids and this and that. So, but hopefully at Christmas we'll get a chance to go down, and I'll get a chance to go down and get to see them and hang out with them for a while. So after the mouth sores and stuff cured up, I still had a lot of mucositis, which is dry mouth basically. I didn't have enough saliva to break down foods and this and that. After my transplant, I came home, just so everybody knows, I came home the week of Thanksgiving. It was a good week, really good week. My brother came down and stayed with me. We cooked Thanksgiving dinner and stuff. I ate a little bit. Didn't really taste good. Couldn't really eat everything. But we still had Thanksgiving dinner together and as a family, and him and I hung out. But had a good week. Enjoyed it. I know he was a little frustrated because I couldn't eat as well as what he probably would have liked me to eat. But I ate and survived and got through it. Second week, my daughter came down, and like I said, I so appreciate that. She came and stayed with me. It was good for us to kind of hang out, and because we don't get a lot of father-daughter time anymore. The way the kids are and their sports and things like that, it's just difficult to have a lot of father-daughter time like that. So we had a good week. Back and forth to the doctors, this and that, but groceries and experimenting with different types of foods, trying to get me to eat different stuff I could really taste and eat and this and that. Still wasn't a great week about food or anything like that. So, but near the end of the week, I started feeling better. So it got a little easier for me to eat some soups and those kind of things, and that tomato type based stuff, which the doc said would be a little tough for a little while because of the acid in the system. But what I found was that the acidic stuff I can taste. Oranges, sauerkraut, and definitely sauerkraut since I'm German now. But my sauerkraut, anything acidic like tomato-based stuff, tomato juice really tastes good. So I've been drinking a lot of juices and a lot of that kind of stuff that I can taste anyway, so I can continue to get my fluids and my food. Third week came down, my buddy from Michigan, my best friend anyway, he came down and stayed down with me that week, and we had a good week. Yeah, like I said, he got me out and I felt better, and done a little walking, and one day it was 60-some degrees, so he took me out and we played a little bit of golf. My eyes were watering and everything else, and I couldn't really see very well, but you know what, it felt so good just to get out and walk on the golf course and walk up and down a few hills here and there, and just to putt the ball around. I drove the ball, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. We got out and done some of that stuff, and it was fun. So he came down and made some really good butternut squash soup. That was really, really good. I had that, and like I said, I started eating a little better that week, and then talked to the doctor, and he released my babysitters anyway, as at the end of his week. So I don't need a babysitter anymore. I'll be able to cook and clean and do all my own stuff. Tonight I fixed probably my first stir fry that I fixed in a long, long time, but it was good. It was really good. Feels good to get up, chop up the vegetables, and cook and do some of that kind of stuff too. Again, I haven't had any real issues or anything going on. I feel really good. I do have a little bit of GVHD, which is the grafters versus host disease. And what that is a kind of a little rejection type autoimmune drug. it's an immune system type thing that my systems are kind of fighting a little bit together. But it's not affecting my liver, my kidneys, or my heart, my stomach, or anything like that. It's my skin. Now, unfortunately, your skin's your biggest organ in your body, and you need it. So they're focused on that and working on some of that stuff. I've been doing steroids now for probably about 12 days, 12 or 15 days or so between there. It's it's drying up, it's going away. It's on my arms, it's on my back, it was on my chest. My chest is cleared up. But other than that, I haven't had any other issues. Like I said, it's a little bit of itching and dry skin and this and that. I put some lotion on and I go on. So, but this last week was my 4th week out of the hospital, and I went to work a few days. It was really good for me because, like I said, it really helped me eat a little better and stay focused on what I'm doing and what's going on with work and get back in the groove of things. So it's been really, really good. It's good to see people and see some faces anyway that I haven't seen in a while, and get back in the groove with those people. Actually, while I was off, we promoted a few people, just so it makes things a little more difficult. So I had a lot of things to get paperwork filled out and emails and new emails and that kind of stuff to get figured out too. So I appreciate all my coworkers and managers working as hard as they did as well. So they worked their butts off, but it's been good. I talked to my boss and regularly anyway, but I talked to him last week, and he told me there's going to be some exciting things going on this next year, so I'm excited about some of that stuff. Don't know what it all is yet, but I'm excited about it. It's been like I said, I've been doing really well. I'm excited about where things are going. I've been so blessed through this whole situation that I don't know why it was so easy for me. And I say easy, maybe a little lightly, but my mouth sores were probably the worst part that I even had. Losing the weight and losing the muscle and losing that weight, and the mouth sores was probably the worst part I even had. Other than that, naturally you guys see how I lost my hair and this and that. Who knows if I'll get hair back, but I do know I have about 6 or 7 mustache hairs popped up here, but it'll come back. I'm not going to concern about it. I'm not going to focus on it. One of the things that did happen was at day 30 after my transplant, they do a bone marrow biopsy and check and see how things are going. I came back totally clean, no leukemia, no cancer, nothing going on. Everything's been working fine. The only thing, like I said, that's been going on is the grafters versus host disease, the GVHD, is the only thing that's been going on. And then they do a little chromosome DNA test on your blood to see how the donor and your blood how everything's working. First thing is my blood type's changed already, and the second thing is that I found out Friday that my blood is 100% my donor's DNA already, which is pretty quick. They're not surprised by no means, but they said, this is going really well for me. So they got that, and it's really freaky because as this goes on, more and more of my DNA can change over to my donor's DNA. So, there's a couple little freaky things that could happen. Is my hair could come back a different color, and also my eyes could change color, just because of DNA type stuff. It's really kind of a little freaky, but there's only about a 10 to 15% chance or anything like that happening. So it's very low that something like that could even happen, but it's kind of neat that even something like that could even happen through a transplant like this. Really makes you stop and think and start wondering, stem cells and what's going on with the world and what's going on with diseases and those kind of things. That God really wrote a plan. He really wrote a plan that just works. You can't deny it. Just cannot deny it. We've had lots of changes, and again, I feel great, and for me to be like this after when I know back in August and July and June, and I was just so exhausted and tired and couldn't keep myself even awake during the day. So it was really, really tough. I always had to take naps and this and that to do things, and hard to walk, hard to even take a shower. But I'm doing fine now. All my counts have pretty much recovered. I've got a couple of them, like on my white blood count and my ANC, which are my disease and virus fighting blood components, and they're both high. Part of that's due to the steroids they have me on due to the GVHD. They're both high, but my platelets are back up, almost back to normal, and my hemoglobin's almost back to normal. So they're very, they're very, very close. They're not quite in the normal range, but they're very close. So they're getting there. I'm going to be patient and let them go. I'm excited at some point here after the first year to get back into the gym, start doing some endurance and training to get myself back into a good groove where I'm comfortable running all day and doing everything I need to do and not have to be tired at night or anything like that when I get home. But again, I feel pretty good right now, even just to after cooking dinner and doing my thing today, cleaning the house, and I'm getting a little more OCD, a little bit, just because, and I don't know whether that's my donor or what, but I'm going to take on some of his traits. They say Germans are pretty OCD, so it's driving me crazy having bunches of stuff sitting around. So I'm trying to clean things up and organize a little bit better. And again, I haven't been here for so long, but I'm doing well. Want everybody to know that. It's holiday season. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Everybody be safe. Hug those families. Love on those families. Love on those kids. Don't waste a minute. Just be there for them and be there for each other. All right. But like I said, I love you all and I miss you. And hopefully I'll be back out soon. So you guys all take care. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Peace out, and I love you.